Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We completed politics 1 chapter, isn't it? And today we are starting economics, the 2nd chapter. What is the name of the first chapter?
What is democracy? Why is democracy?
That is politics, economics,
Story of village Palam.
story of village, Palampur. So we finished that chapter and today we are starting the next chapter. Before going to the 2nd chapter, we must recollect the first chapter. That is important. Okay. Sovel.
Yes, ma'am.
Sovel is thinking every time ma'am is calling me. Sovel, which are the factors of production? Factors of production.
Land, labor,
Land,
labor,
labor, land, labor.
physical capital, and
Yes. And
Raw
one more
materials.
is there.
Raw
Hey,
mate-
wait. Let him say. Land.
ma'am, not so well.
Ah,
Me.
ah. I can't hear. What you said?
Ma'am, Lakshmi, I'm only telling not so well.
Why so well? You allowed others to say the answer. Land, labor. Then all others keep quiet. Let Sovel say.
Raw
Land.
materials.
Factors of production: land, labor, physical
Raw
capital,
materials.
which raw materials is coming under
Ah.
what?
Physical
Physical capital, and one more is there. What is it?
Capital. Oh,
Which capital?
yes.
Chemical capital.
Very good. It's human capital. Human capital. These are the 4 factors of production we studied, isn't it? Land, labor, physical capital, and human capital. So I think you know how land was useful in the production process, how labor, how physical capital. These 3 things we discussed in detail in the previous chapter. And the one we left, and that time I told you, we will discuss this in the coming chapter. That is the chapter. In this chapter, we are dealing with human capital. Human capital. Okay. Then, the name of the chapter is, what is the name of the 2nd chapter?
People as resources.
People as resource. Do you think that people are a resource to a country?
Yes.
Yes. Why, Karthik? Children, turn on your videos.
Because people are the important resources.
People are the important resource. Okay. Why we are saying that people are important resource?
Because
Without people,
without people we cannot use any.
Yes,
any
very
resources.
good, very good. Without people, all other factors of production are idle, isn't it?
yes.
That is a correct answer. You said without a person to operate all the things, all other factors of production, especially land and capital, is idle. So the most superior among the factors of production is definitely the human capital. Okay.
Okay.
Then the name of the chapter is People as a Resource. So you said people are a resource to a country. Which is the largest populated country in the world?
China.
And second largest?
India.
India. Okay. So in China, have you heard about one child norm? One child norm. That means they made a law that for a parent, only one child will be there. Okay, more than one child, they will get some punishment for that. Why they did like that?
To control the
Ah.
population.
Yes, definitely to control the population. So population is an asset to a country, but if it is more than the limit, that means if the resources more than what we need, the resources we have and the
And the
population.
government will not give any prescription for the second child.
And now it is like that. Wait, I'm coming to that. Okay. So that time they made the law that only one child will be there. If more than one child, there is some punishment will be there for them. Because the population is more and they want to control the population. Otherwise, it will lead to unemployment, poverty. A lot of problems will be there if too much population is there. But nowadays, the China is not following the norm very strictly. That one family, one child policy. You know what is the reason?
Their population is decreasing.
No, their population, because which population? See, for a country, the most productive population is in between the age group of 15 to 45. That means they are highly contributing to a country's development. Okay, because they are physically fit to do the works. But China, what happened is when they started to adopt the one child norm, the elderly population started to increase. And their adult population is decreasing. So the adult population is less and the elder population is more. So what will happen? The country cannot develop proper because the dependent group is more than the productive group. That's why they changed that to one child norm. Okay? So people is a resource. Even though we are saying that overpopulation is there, in the case of India, you know, our most important resource is our human resource. When we are taking any top 10 CEOs of the world, one may be an Indian. If we are taking any top 10 scientists of the world, one may be an Indian. So India is a country blessed with human resource. Okay. So people as a resource. Why your parents are sending you to school? Because they are investing in you. Isn't it?
Yes.
Ma'am.
They are spending a huge amount for your education. Why? Because they are investing in you. They know people, humans are the most important resource. So that is the name of our chapter, people as a resource. We can start the chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
The name of the chapter is People as a Resource. And the chapter we studied about two types of capital. One is human capital and other is physical capital. Can you say any difference between this physical capital and human capital?
Ma'am,
Yes, Srihari.
physical capital is useless without the help of human capital.
Human capital, okay. Then any other difference? It is not there in the textbook, okay? So don't need to check it in the textbook. You just think and say, what is the difference between a physical capital and a human capital? You know what is a physical capital, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Physical capital means a machine is an example for a physical capital. Human capital means the doctors, lawyers, and all the people who are doing a specialized work are coming under the human capital. So what is the difference between a physical capital and a human capital? A machine and a human being. What is the difference?
Machine produce, human will use that.
Okay. Without that, Srihari said, without the help of a human being, a machine cannot produce anything, isn't it? It is idle without a human capital. Okay. Then any other point? Think. Machine and a doctor.
Machine is a non-living thing.
Okay. Uh, you say. Think and say. A machine and a doctor. Any
Ma'am,
other point?
a doctor has more knowledge than a machine.
Okay. Yes. Sovel, you want to say something? Say Sovel. Any other point? Anybody want to add? Devasena?
Ma'am, machines can be built by humans.
Machines?
Can be built by humans. Are
It's
made.
built by- Yes, okay. Okay, what all points you said? Sania, any point want to add? No need. See, we can check what's the difference between a physical capital and a human capital. You said the points, but we want to add more to that. When you are seeing the points, you will say, oh, we know, we know, we know. So first, children, don't write it. Okay, put your pens down. I will give you time to write. You put your pens down and listen here. The difference between a physical capital and a human capital. First one is, as you said, first point you already said. Fiscal capital is a man-made means of production, isn't it? A fiscal capital, example, a machine. A machine. It is made by humans. It is a man-made product. Fiscal capital is a man-made means of production. Then what about the human capital? It includes the skill, ability, education, and knowledge possessed people. So human capital, if a person possesses skill, ability, education, and knowledge, it is a human capital. That's the first difference between a human capital and a fiscal capital. Physical capital is a man-made means of production. It's a man-made means of production. But a human capital, how to define human capital? The skill, ability, education, and knowledge possessed people are called human capital. An example, doctor. Don't think that only doctor is a human capital. Okay, nurse. All those who are renting the services are coming under the human capital. That's the first difference, clear? Fiscal capital is a man-made means of production. The skill, ability, education, and knowledge possessed people are called as human capital. Then the second one is a physical capital is tangible. What do you mean by tangible? Tangible. Srihari, can you touch the sofa you are sitting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is tangible. Can you touch the air you are breathing?
No, ma'am.
Then what is the difference between tangible and intangible?
Ma'am, we can feel the things.
We can touch. If it is possible to touch it, it is tangible. Isn't it?
Ma'am.
So the fiscal capital we can touch. A machine, can we touch?
Ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Ma'am,
No?
can touch.
We can touch. So the physical capital is tangible and can be sold in the market. We can sell that product in the market. But what about the human capital? It is intangible. It is intangible and cannot be sold. Only services can be provided. A doctor. Can we sell a human capital in the market like a commodity?
No, ma'am.
No. What they will do? Their
They get
services. They provide the services. So the first difference is fiscal capital is man-made means of production. Human capital, the skill, ability, education and knowledge possessed people. Second one, fiscal capital is tangible and can be sold in the market. Human capital is intangible, cannot be sold, only services can be provided. Another difference is fiscal capital is mobile between the countries. That means fiscal capital is movable between the countries, but the human capital is less mobile, maybe because of the cultural differences or other factors. A human capital cannot move easily like a fiscal capital. Another last one is a fiscal capital can be separated from the owner. After its production over, we can separate it. But it is not possible in the case of human capital because it is built in the body and mind of the owner. A human capital, we cannot separate it from the owner. The teaching is a service. Can you separate it from a teacher?
No, ma'am.
No. A doctor doing a service or a lawyer doing a service. Can we separate it from the owner?
No.
No, because it is inbuilt to them. Isn't it? It is built in the body and mind of the owner itself. But what about a fiscal capital? It can be separated from the owner because it is a physical capital. Clear?
Yes.
Yes. So listen, what is the difference between the physical capital and human capital? Fiscal capital is a man-made means of production. Human capital, the skill, ability, education and knowledge possessed people. Then fiscal capital is tangible and can be sold in the market. Human capital is intangible and cannot be sold. Only services can be provided. Fiscal capital is more mobile between the countries, but the human capital is less mobile between the countries. Fiscal capital can be separated from the owner. Human capital, it is built in the body and mind of the owner. No need to write like the same sentence. I will send the notes in the WhatsApp. Just mention the points only. Fiscal capital, man-made. Human, ability, skill, education and knowledge possessed person. Fiscal capital, tangible. Human capital, intangible. Fiscal capital, mobile. Human capital is less mobile. Fiscal capital can be separate from the owners. Human capital cannot be separated from the owner because it is built in the body and mind of the owner. Clear? Justin, clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Any point want to explain once again? Children, anybody? Anyone? You can say yes or no. Any response?
No, ma'am.
No.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. It's clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So the next is the people as a resource. We discussed the point people as a resource. Why people as a resource? Because among the factors of production, which one is the most important factor? It is
Labor.
human or the labor.
Yep.
Human capital or labor means it's a people itself, isn't it?
Yes,
Labor is
ma'am.
provided by the people. So among all the factors of production, the labor or the human resource is the most important factors of production. Wait, children. Ananya, Ananya? Ananya is not in ninth, isn't it?
No.
No, ma'am.
Not responding to. So among the factors of production, labor is the most important factor of production. The point you said already, that means the human resource make use of land and capital and produce various commodities. So population is an asset to a economy. We say that when the population is increasing, it create a lot of problems in the economy. But if you are properly investing in the population and utilizing it, it become an asset to a society or a country. So population is an asset for the economy. Why? Because the human resource make use of land and capital and produce various commodities. Without human resource, these assets like land, capital and all are idle. So the population is an asset of the economy and it is one of the most important factors of production. Then if a question is there, human resources are superior to other resources like land and capital. Anandu, are you agree with the statement? Anandu, do you agree with the statement?
One.
Human resources are superior to other resources like land and capital.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Why? Why? Why you think that human resource is superior than other two factors of production? Anandu? Arun?
Ma'am.
Arun?
Ma'am.
Yes, can you say the answer?
Ma'am, human.
Arun, I can't hear you properly. A little bit louder, child.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
Not able to hear you proper.
Ma'am is saying that your voice is not clear.
My voice is, to all of you, it's like that?
No.
So why human capital is superior than any other capital? Why?
Ma'am, without human capital, we cannot furnish the other capitals.
Yes.
Other.
Yes, that is the answer. So much thinking is needed for that. Human resource make use of land and capital and produce various commodities, isn't it?
Ma'am.
Human resource make use of land and capital and produce various commodities. So land and capital become useful only if we have enough human capital. Because they are not producing anything by themselves. Arun, I can't hear you. I can't do anything also. Maybe network problem. Okay, Arun? He can't hear me proper. So the human resource make use of land and capital and produce various commodities. And land and capital cannot become useful on their own because they are not producing anything. If land is there, it will not produce anything. Or if enough money is there, money will not do anything. If a human is or a labor or the population is behind that, we can use it into a productive purpose. So the human resource or the human capital is superior than the two other factors of production, land and capital. It is because human resource make use of land and capital and produce various commodities. First reason is Human resource make use of land and capital and produce various commodities. Second one is labor and capital cannot become useful on their own because they are not producing anything by themselves. That's why human capital or human resources superior. Clear? Clear?
Yes.
Karthik?
Yes, ma'am.
Karthik?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. You understood why I called you, isn't it?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Then we discuss what is fiscal capital, what is human capital, then why human capital is more superior than other capital and also. Then another term we are discussing is human capital. Have you heard about human capital? Familiar with the term human capital? Human capital.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How to define a human capital?
It is the skills, education, and knowledge of individuals.
It includes what all things? It refers to the skill,
Ability,
ability,
education,
education. One more thing is there.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Yes, good. So the human capital refers to the skills, ability, education, and knowledge possessed by an individual or a society. How to define human capital? How to define human capital? It refers to the skill, ability, education, and knowledge possessed by an individual or a society. So here we are discussing in detail about the human capital. And if we are investing, what will happen to human capital? Okay. So how to define human capital, Jesslyn? Jesslyn? Sania, how to define human capital?
Human capital refers to the skill, ability, education, and knowledge possessed by an individual or a society.
Yes. The four things are there, isn't it? Skill, ability, education, and knowledge. Okay, it's clear to you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'm up. So we can discuss it in detail in the next class, okay?
okay.
So for the next class, study this point, difference
Thank you,
between,
ma'am.
let me complete, study the points, fiscal capital, human capital, its differences, then what is human capital, why human resource or human capital is superior than any other resource, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.